Welcome to the Kendy and Raybo podcast, sponsored by Anderson's Bar and Grill and the Blind Tiger Bar.
Recording. Such a rigmarole we have to. Do you think I don't know. Maybe it's just me. People don't understand what I do.
What you have to go through.
What I have to go through to make sure this works, you know? And then you two flutes come in here every week, like, what's the story, Kendy? Can we get this going or not, like, or what's the crack, like?
I think we start every podcast like this.
How much technology do you think is in this room?
A lot.
Like, there's a lot, like.
Yes.
And there's a lot of power, too. Did you hear the beep, boo, beep downstairs?
Yeah.
That's my electricity nearly gone. I can't afford it, Ray. I can't afford it. What are you drinking?
Oh, it's a lovely Happy Days Pale Ale.
And after all of that, where's my one? Yeah, that's good as well. I'm so glad, Ray, that I do everything for you like this. Like, I mean, it's just... Go back to Ray's camera for a sec while I give out to him. Just give me a second while I give out to him here for a minute. And, oh, yeah. So...
I'm very sorry about the beer situation.
Yeah, so what's happening there? I mean, are you struggling for pound as well, man?
No, I just didn't have one to hand for you.
Okay.
And should be the sort of person that would give you my one. But you know how integral it is for me to get a little bit tipsy when doing this.
Yeah, but a tipsy off one beer, man. I remember when I had my first one. What are you, 14?
It's an IPA.
What?
An IPA.
What does an IPA mean?
An IPA. IPA.
Oh, it's an IPA, yes. Why?
Yeah.
What is it, 12% or something?
Bad percent.
Jesus. Like, but it's I don't know. I feel undervalued in my life.
I'll get you one later.
No, because now it doesn't matter. Now I don't want one though. Now,
big news week.
Yeah, no, it's a big news week for us as well. Well, let's start this off the way we should because we have a lot to say.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I have a lot of bits.
You've all heard the rumors. Everyone out there has heard the rumors, and we're here just to squash them here and now.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
you can tell them what you earn.
Listen. There was talk there that from the Patreon, right, that I was making £28.
Yeah.
And we announced this on public forum. I was making £28 and Ray was making £28.
Yeah.
Obviously, it got released that it was £34 I was making.
It was 34.
So I do have to just apologise to the public. And you're probably wondering if you are on our Patreon, well, where's my money going?
Yeah.
And if I'm being honest, I didn't know it was in the account at all.
No.
Like €6 is easily lost, you know. I had no idea there was £34 going into that account every month at all. Ray did. Ray was well aware of it, and he just went with it. No, stop, Ray, please. Because if we're going to tell the truth, we're going to tell the truth. These people depend on us.
I know, but can we talk about the actual thing? I'd be normally a devil's advocate, and I'd always go, I'm sure there's a reason.
I'm sure there's a reason.
Yeah. I'd always stand up for them and kind of go, I'm sure there was a reason.
Okay, let me hear it then.
So all I could think of was, I actually don't have, and off the top of my head now, all I can think of is that Ryan Tuber's Kendy, right, was looking for
Ryan Subsidy. That money was subsidised for him.
Ryan Subsidy was looking for. He said, "Look at lads, I'll keep doing the late. I'm getting thick with it at the minute. Everybody knows my name. Yeah. I want €375,000 a year."
Yeah.
And the RT boys went, "Jesus, we can only do 300."
Yeah.
And I've been in this situation when looking, and this is the thing Laura tries to clamp down on with me. Mm-hmm. I'd be going, Jesus, I wonder could I bridge the gap?
Yeah.
Right?
By doing other bits.
So D, up
now
the top.
Good girl,
yeah,
D.
I'm sure she kind of went, let's bridge it. Let's make this happen, which I'd be a big believer in.
Yeah, listen, we only did 24 episodes of Fair City last month,
let's
right?
Do
so
22.
So let's do 20.
Yeah.
And let's give him the pound that would have been used on the production of that.
It's something along the lines of that. And they just wanted to get it over the line because their heads were wrecked. And if we lose Ryan in the late, we're rightly
So that's
scuppered.
good. So you're saying it was definitely Ryan who wanted the money, and that's what happened there.
Definitely.
That's what you think happened.
There's no reality in this world where Ryan Subsidy was not looking for X amount for doing
a subsidy.
For doing it. And what I cannot get my head around is they publish his salary.
Yeah, they have to because it's public fund.
Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know, people do know this, but if you're not in Ireland, you're not going to realise RTE is a public
2
entity.
years from now. We have to tell the story. RTE is the public broadcaster.
Yeah.
We pay for it through our licence fee and other things.
Yes.
And they had a presenter on their books. His name is Ryan
the
Subsidy.
highest paid presenter, Ryan Subsidy.
And they managed to get to subsidise his income through a commercial partner agreement where they basically said, look, give us 75 grand, so AIB give them 75 grand, and we'll give you a credit note for ads. That's why you're seeing so many AIB
so
ads.
Technically it is still public money because that advertising revenue is our money. It's our, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they said, no, we'll give you 50 grand worth of ads, no bother at all. You can put up your, the ads where it might have been National Lottery, we'll say.
Yeah.
And the ad where the granny's going down the slide and then she gets into her Ferrari.
Like how much that it is very clear that the National Lottery are rolling money.
Well,
the ad where they put a feckin' fun park.
I'll tell you why.
Up beside the village.
Yeah. And
where did that happen?
70-year-old Bridie is going down the slide.
That's definitely not CGI. That's real.
No, that's real. They had to build that estate.
Yeah, but I wonder where is it like?
Well, it doesn't matter where it is because I know exactly what it was paid for Ryan Tubridy's. But they said we have 75 grand now worth of it, and they said, well, I'll tell you what we'll do now. Let's build an estate outside Bugstown and let's put a big slide in and a Ferrari and let's let Nelly go down the slide.
There isn't a whole lot of goodness in this one, and I can't find a way of. I like the idea of bridging the gap.
That is staggering.
But you can't really bridge the gap until if there's transparency involved and if you're supposed to be completely upfront with the public.
Yeah.
You can't really bridge the gap. You can do it like department of government. Besides, we do it all the time.
Yeah.
Squirrel money away. I know we don't.
Well, I heard it goes deeper than that again. I heard they were paying for his Netflix and his Amazon Prime and everything.
No way.
They were, man. Yeah. I heard that he was subscribed to 3 or 4 OnlyFans, but that was being paid out of public money. Isn't that unreal?
That's unreal.
Isn't that absolutely lethal? And the fella wouldn't pay for a pint down the town or nothing, is what I heard.
Do you think he knew this was all going to hit and that's why he quit?
Yeah, so that's what they're saying. So the week that all of it came out, apparently, is the week that he said, geez, I fucking, you know what, I'm tired. I'm fucking getting very tired of this now all of a sudden. I might just tip off into the distance.
Yeah.
It's a funny one. It's a real funny one because when I look at Ryan Subsidy, I think that he is a likable guy. I think he's shit. I think the Late Late Show is shit, by the way. Okay. I think when he did it was shit. But I think he's a really likable fella.
Yeah.
But what I didn't like about the Late Late Show, did you ever see the Late Late Shows where they used to try and do a music special, right? Yeah. And they might have, I remember one time they tried to build a bar. Oh, Lord. They built a pub on the Late Late Show set to try and make it seem like a rural pub. And he had all these people in, like Damien Dempsey, and then all these trad players and all that. So I'm sure people from Dervish and shit, whatever. And while they were playing music, that he obviously just is not that artsy guy, he was like tapping his leg in the most awkward, like, geez, I haven't a clue what's going on here, but I think this is what they do in pubs,
Alan
is it?
Partridge.
Yeah, it's like Alan Partridge.
Yeah.
He's going, yay, 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 whoa. I haven't been in a pub in ages, and tell you why, because I built one in the house with the money. Yeah. So, like, that's what he feels like. He's very awkward. I think Patrick Poultry, he's going to be a lot better at it.
Right.
So I think he'd be,
Yeah.
But I do think that RTE are about 15 years behind, because I bet you I know what they're going to do with Patrick Poultry. They're going to make him do like a monologue beforehand, and they're going to make it more American chat showy, right?
They're going to make it all Graham's Norton.
But just get ready for this, because that's 20 years ago.
Yeah.
You're so late. Yeah. You're so late to changing it up. I think stick to the old-fashioned way, genuinely. I think the Late Late Show at its best is when they have hard-hitting stuff on.
To the town hall, for people to talk about matters of the day, which would have been very embarrassing if Subsidy hadn't gone.
Yeah.
Because he would have been sitting there on a Friday night talking about his wages.
Talking about it, he would have been interviewing himself.
Yeah.
Saying, I think you're great for us. And then saying, no, but you robbed the money. And he'd say, don't you talk to me like that, you prick. I never liked you anyway.
You fat bitch.
Yeah, you old bitch. So look, here's the thing with Ryan Subsidy. I think he's likable. I think what he has done, if we had to find out the full truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Yeah, he came out and said, try to clue that money was there.
Couldn't believe he said that.
Who has 300, 400 grand just sitting there and going, geez, I never even saw it. I mean, why would you say that to the public?
He came out and he said, this is an accounting matter. However they accounted for my wages is not my business. But
does he not look at his AIB account?
But no, it's not.
When I look at my AIB account, I say, Nicola, we have €48 left, so if you want to get that formula for Ali, just go down and get it now. He is in such a privilege like that he has 400 sitting there. He doesn't even look. No, he doesn't go, where did that come from?
What he didn't look at is what RT said they gave him.
So he didn't know what he was even getting paid?
No, he did know what he was getting paid. He just didn't seem to reconcile it with the amount that they were actually publicly saying.
I mean, surely at the end of a year you'd go, there's 50 extra grand. Where did that come from?
Yeah.
It was 50 grand a year over 6 years.
Oh, no, I had an excuse.
Oh, brilliant.
You know the way some of these things are done? If it was a commercial partnership or a commercial sponsorship, maybe he just looked at the public figure and went, that's not including obviously the the commercial partnership, because that's a separate thing.
Yeah, you're being very nice there now. That's not the truth.
And I think the bit that maybe he didn't know about was the bit where they said, we'll give you a gift card for all the advertising.
So he got an all for one of 75 grand.
No. He got 75 grand, and I bet you RTE told him that's from, and I'm using AIB as just an example.
Yeah.
That's from AIB.
It was TK Maxx.
And you have to go to 9 of their branches throughout the year and make an installment.
Make a withdrawal,
You have the tickets. They'll give you 75 grand, but you have to publicly go to 9 of their branches.
Cut a ribbon and then
take the money out in bits.
Yeah.
Right? You have to use all AIB ATMs. You can't use permanent TSP or nothing.
Yeah, oh, fuck,
you have to be an AIB ATM man.
It wasn't AIB. Who was it?
I don't remember.
Do you know who it was?
No.
I don't think they do know who it was. Anyway, that's what they're saying.
That's the bit though, that I think he knew he was getting 75 grand.
No.
But he knew that it was a different arrangement. AIB were paying him that, not RTE. That's why it wasn't on the public.
Yeah.
And I don't think he knew that RTE were wink and nod to AIB. Look, we'll sort you.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. That's not true though.
Why?
He definitely knew.
He knows what RTE pays him is what's published. If AIB give him 75 grand, that's not going to be published.
I don't know.
I think the bit about that, we'll give you a few ads. I think that's the bit that he didn't know about. So, and I think that's why, and I'm surprised he did, that sounds like the most rational, do you know? Yeah,
so this D woman then.
Yes.
So she has now been...
Awful photo they've taken of her.
I don't even know what she looks like. What she look like?
The photo they're using on the RT website, news website, is basically her. It's like she's coming out of a car park and has spotted someone taking her photo, and she's got that frustrated looking face going.
Oh, jeez. Well, wouldn't you be frustrated too if you... So, but what's her incentive to get... So, is she getting anything out of this?
It's nearly like when you're organising gigs for pubs, right? Let's take Kendy, for example.
Yeah.
Kendy's a mighty man for doing, we'll say, a Tuesday night, you know?
Yeah.
And
for €600.
Yeah, for €600. And imagine if you had kind of, couldn't be arsed now doing it. You know, the pub was kind of going, we really want to keep Kendy, because if we lose Kendy, how in the name of God are we going to replace him? And then, that Brendan fella's not going to be able to hold it on his own.
And then Diageo come in and say, we'll give you an extra 200 for him.
And this has actually really happened in previous pubs experiences I've worked in. Diageo, let's talk to the
brewery, see what they give pounds.
See what they give pounds. And they do. We'll subsidise that night.
Yeah.
And if the pub then had to demonstrate what they paid you, they'd be saying, we're only giving them 400. Yeah. Because technically that's all the pub was giving you.
Yeah.
Now, if the pub is giving Diageo free pints to all the lads when they come in, the local correspondent for
if
Diageo.
They're making it right back up again.
Yes, So it's all just sleight of hand. Yeah. So I think you're on D, just try to get it over the line. What was incentive for her is, let's keep this ship running.
Yeah. I mean, this isn't the first time that the wages of some of these RTE people has been questioned. Do you know what I mean? It's always been a case. When Pat Kenny was the highest earner, there was all people going, why is he? So I would have a tendency to go, right, you're paid what you're paid, and if everyone agrees that you're paid that, then it doesn't matter. So if you get 500 grand or you get 50 grand, if that's been agreed, then you get paid it. But the problem most people are having nowadays is that there is absolutely nothing to watch on the national broadcasts.
It's for all the money we're paying. We're getting less Fair City episodes.
So for anyone, again, not from Ireland who's listening, we pay what is called a TV license, and all of that money, all of us, it does not go. We have other broadcasters in Ireland. All of it goes to RTE. Does not go to Virgin Media.
Which is good, by the way, because you see it in the UK with BBC.
Yeah.
Publicly funded national broadcasters, great, because they wouldn't do, nationwide it'd be cut if it was private.
Yeah.
Like there would not be, and we're here now at
the Angelus wouldn't be
Ross's Point Balloon Festival,
and you're not
where we see all the balloons, and aren't they marvellous? Fair play to everybody
and we're
involved.
talking to Seamus McNamee now, and Seamus, you've been coming to the Balloon Festival for 70 years.
And Seamus, give us a 14-minute in-depth description of your life.
If you wouldn't mind, I could just stutter the whole way through us as well, because you're ancient, if you don't mind. So we'd lose all of that stuff. Of course we would. That's why the BBC is great as well. Now, the BBC also brings out what you might consider to be high quality television.
Now, we had like that now.
We had Love and Hate, right? And then we had Next to Kin.
Yeah.
Right? They were two fine shows, apparently. I didn't watch either of them because they're not for me.
Love Hate is marvellous.
Yeah, so they were good shows or whatever. We have a soap opera called Fair City. Which might go down in history as the worst piece of television ever produced.
I'm fascinated. My father watches that avidly. And I said, I actually find myself sitting at home when he puts it on, and I just look at him. And I go, How do you like this?
Yeah.
They're all in the cafe, and they're clearly all so awkward going, we're on a TV set.
Yeah.
Come here, what did you do last last night.
I must say to you there, what was the line again? So, I heard your sister killed your father. What happened? So,
or that time where one of them, she was afraid of the drug dealer, and the drug dealer kept saying to her, Carol, I think you need to go to the toilet. But that's the comedian fella. What's his name, Brendan? The book. What? Eric Lawler. Yeah, that was my favourite line for him. Carol, I think you need to go to the toilet. But what was really unrealistic, when Carol would look at him kind of all surprised going, okay, Billy, I'll go to the toilet.
Who was the bald lad that used to be in it as well? He was married to the old miserable redhead. Do you remember? Oh, she was a miserable... Paul! Yeah. She was a miserable old bitch. What was her? I mean, talk about... They just... Like,
Nicola, yeah.
Was it Nicola? Is that her name?
So, yeah.
But like, they literally just found, she embodied Fair Sissy, just a bag of misery. Like,
she embodied an awful lot of people around Ireland.
She was
there
embodying.
Was a lot of people like her.
A lot of people embodied.
Yeah,
you know,
she did really well in that role.
She was a bag of misery. But we
Paul
had that.
was always trying to be what's his face? He was always trying to be. He wouldn't set out to be sneaky.
No,
but sure, he'd end up meeting some young one and going, "You're lovely."
Yeah,
and then it'd all get out of control.
Oh, he'd take off the suit and tie, Rain. Oh, jeez. And they never show you the sex scene, but they a little bit of shifted and then they tip out of the camera, and you had to imagine Paul absolutely leveling us into a woman in her 20s.
Straight into the theme tune. Do 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 do.
Is that EastEnders? Is it? Is that EastEnders?
I couldn't tell you.
But now, the only reason that people are on about now not paying the license fee, they're saying, I can't be watching Fair Shitty anymore, and Ryan Subsidies after getting 800 grand.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not paying my TV license no more. Your man may knock the door. Like, I heard a story of, there was a woman who didn't pay her TV license, and she was an old woman, and she got put into Mountjoy or something for a day or two. That was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because she got arrested, like, for not paying it. And then Ryan Subsidy then is going around, like, that's the real hypocrisy of the whole thing.
Yeah.
The only reason I pay my TV license is because I think that RTE genuinely now do some of the best sports broadcasting for the last 50 years.
They do, yeah.
Outstanding work.
The only reason I pay it is because they let me do it in installments. €13.33.
So you think it's very fair?
I think it's marvelous.
You don't watch RTE, but you go, that's an awful fair system.
Yeah,
I bet they're paying.
And it has been reoccurring for years.
So, but you know what the funny thing is, like, so if the TV license inspector, the most dreaded man after the taxman, number one is the taxman.
The taxman doesn't call to the house unless it's the sheriff.
Yeah, no, yeah. The number one most, the taxman is the most feared man in Ireland.
Yeah.
Then it goes down to the... You know, if you say TV license inspector into the mirror 3 times, apparently he comes out like that. He's one of the most feared men in the country.
If you go, hey Siri, call the TV license inspector, they actually ring him. He might even have the number.
They do. And he'd land at your door then the next day. He pull up in the golf, probably 17, 18 golf.
Yeah.
So, that's why I paid it. What was I going to get at there again? Oh yeah, TV license. People are saying, I'm not going to pay it now or whatever. Then
they'll end up
Mountjoy. Yeah, but... Can I say to a TV license inspector when he lands at my door, I do have a television, I have a tablet, I have 2 laptops, I have all kinds of television mechanisms.
Yeah.
What I don't do with any of those, and I promise you this, TV license inspector, is watch RTE.
I don't believe it's what you're watching them. It's if you have a televisual unit up inside in your house, you get hit with this.
So why though? Because all the money's going to RTE.
It's a tax on TV.
No, it's a tax on... But RTE get the money then. If it's a tax on television, shouldn't it just go to the... What do they call it? The exchequer or whatever. Shouldn't it just go into public funds? Not RTE. Not RTE.
Yeah.
This TV license inspector comes. He's from Meath. He's outside Navan, this fella. He's a wanker, Ray. Right?
Do you know? Are you talking about someone?
No, I'm building him. I'm building him for all of us to enjoy. At home. Okay? So he's from outside Navan. He's a wanker.
Right.
Okay?
What's his name?
His name...
Garrett.
His name is Garrett...
O'Brien.
Garrett O'Brien.
Thank you.
Right? He has 2 kids, but he's separated from the missus, right?
Oh, God, that's sad and Garrett.
No, it's terrible.
Why did they break up?
They were happily together for a long, long time now, right?
Yeah.
And
What's the wife's name?
So the wife's name is Susan.
Lovely.
Okay. So Susan
she would have been
O'Brien.
Susan O'Brien.
No. Yes.
Nee Moffat.
Yeah, so she was Moffat before she was O'Brien.
Yeah.
Now, the Moffats are very well known just outside Navan, right? But she was a beautiful, beautiful young woman, right? When she was... Brendan, she was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Susan Moffat was an absolute... When she was in school.
Where did they meet?
So Susan... So they met in school.
Right.
They were together since they were in school. I got to be very careful. I could be explaining to me and Nicola. This could be 10 years away.
Yeah.
So they met when they were in school. Susan, gorgeous piano. So what happened with Susan was He got her pregnant very young now.
Okay, what age?
She was 18, right? She was mad to go to college, right? She wanted to become an architect.
Okay.
Right? So, but when she was 18, she got pregnant with the first child, little girl, beautiful. She's a beautiful girl. And then when she was 21 again, then she got pregnant again, right?
What are the children's names?
So the children's names, they called him, what did they call your man again?
2 daughters, Jared O'Brien.
Yeah, so they called him...
Gareth O'Brien.
They called him Gary Jr.
Gary Jr. Was it a girl? The first one was a girl. No, a boy.
Yeah, they called her Gary Jr. So they called the girl Gary Jr. And then, yeah.
And she didn't have the child when she was 21.
The boy was called Richard, but everyone called him Richie.
All right, so it's Gary Jr.
Gary Jr. and
Richie.
Richie. Gary Jr. was gorgeous girl now. She was beautiful as well.
Go on.
Anyway, she got into her 40s and realised, like, I didn't have any youth at all. Like, this man just got me pregnant.
He did.
And I have not explored anything in the world.
Yeah.
So she said,
I love the way you've described that. He got her pregnant.
Well, I mean...
She had nothing to do with it.
Well, I mean, he had about 4 inches that had plenty to do with it.
But, I mean, she was the other side of it, though.
She was, man.
You know, it takes 2 to tango.
It does say 2 to
they
tango.
They got pregnant.
Yeah, funny, they were out dancing that night when they got pregnant, actually.
Yeah.
Right? So they were tangoing. So they got pregnant.
Where is this going?
This is my favourite one. She fell pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
I love that one. So she fell. She just fell. Oh, Jesus. After falling on a Mickey, you're pregnant.
Yes.
Or she found herself pregnant.
She found herself.
She was walking through the town and said, is that me in the mirror? I'm fucking pregnant.
Right. Go on anyway.
Anyway. The vet, so
40s.
She said, "I've had enough." She just left the family.
Okay, with
she
Richie and Gary Jr. Oh no, so he kept Richie and Gary Jr.
He kept the 2 of them. She just disappeared.
Right.
Some say she's in Venezuela.
Okay.
Getting absolutely polished by some 20-year-old Venezuelan model. That's what the rumour is, anyway.
To polish.
She's absolutely. He's cleaning the house now. Apparently.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. He's buffing her nose.
Oh. Apparently she's shining now.
Oh, stop.
That's the rumour.
Yeah.
Another rumour is that she's working in a post office just out the far side of her manna.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, I don't know which one of those is true. This fella's a wank.
Gareth.
He's miserable. He's doing his best. But when he's knocking door to door, it has made him, given him an unmerciful amount of bitterness.
And cynicism.
Yeah. He's the second most hated man in the country after the tax man.
Yeah.
So when he's knocking doors...
Single father, like.
He's a single father as well, right? Yeah. And the kids are getting old now, like, so he's...
Gary Jr.'s in college.
Gary Jr. is in college, like, right? And they registered her wrong. They said, Gary Jr.'s a So she's in college.
Yeah.
And what's the fact that Richie is about to do his leaving cert, and he has to go. He can't do TV license stuff around Navan because people know him too well. It's like being a guard. He has to come to Sligo to do his TV licensing. He knocks Kendy's door with his big miserable head.
I love the way we got here and we built him.
I see him coming.
Yeah. But you haven't met him before?
I haven't met him before.
Okay.
But he says to me, I need to see your TV license.
Yeah.
Kendy stands strong after seeing what Ryan Subsidy made. And he says, what's your name? And I said to him, what's your name? I need your badge number.
Right.
He says, my name is, what did he say?
Gareth O'Brien.
Gareth O'Brien. I said, how's the kids?
No, you don't. You don't know anything about the kids.
He says, I'm Gareth O'Brien. My number is 91346.
Yeah.
Okay. I say, Gareth O'Brien, perfect. I'm going to use you as a reference now. Nicola, get the phone out. I want you to record this. Gareth, I do not watch RTE at all.
Yeah.
Therefore, I do not feel any reason why I should be contributing to the broadcast. And he says, you have to do it or else you're going to go to jail.
Yeah.
Right? And I say, Gary, get the cuffs, boy. Because
and it's at this point Gary breaks down. Because of everything that's happened. It's just he's never let it get to him. Gareth just cries on your doorstep.
What?
He just cries. He just down to his knees and he's like, I just can't do this anymore.
And Nicola says to me then...
she stops recording then.
She stops recording.
That's taking all the goodness out of it now, Kendy. We were standing up for our rights.
And she says...
Come in for a cup of tea.
Invite him in.
Yeah.
And I say, fucking hell, Gary, you might as well come in.
Yeah. How long are you at the TV license inspecting, Gary?
He tells us the whole
story, which is why you know this now.
Yeah, which is exactly why I know
this actually happened.
Yeah, because this is real. Twist. So this is how I know this whole story. Yeah. He tells me the whole story. And I say to him... It sounds like you've had enough in Navan.
Did he show you what you call her?
He took pictures out of his wallet.
No, but what's her face? What's the wife's name again?
Susan.
Did he show you Susan's Facebook now? Her over in Venezuela with all the lads?
No, so he shows me the latest photo of he shows me the latest photo of Susan. He says, rumour has it, boys are saying she's in Venezuela getting polished. Right? So wait and you hear this. He takes out his wallet. He says, do you want to see a picture of her? It's the last picture I have of her.
Yeah.
Takes out his wallet.
Go on.
Right? And I say, you're joking me. He hasn't seen her in 15 years.
Yeah.
He's 80. No.
What?
He's 50 now. He hasn't seen her in 15 years. Right?
Wait, no, he was in... Okay.
Right? Shut up. He takes out a picture. I say, Nicola, that's the girl who works in Centra. And he's like, what?
What's she up in Caltra Centra?
She's up in Caltra Centra. We know her, but she's changed her name.
Right. She's not Susan no more.
Sue Ellen.
Mark, this is disastrous. I mean, where are we going with this?
So I say,
It's the worst podcast.
You're not going to believe this, Gareth.
She's above.
She's working.
Yeah.
So we go up.
Yeah, together.
He's really nervous, right?
Yeah.
I get some of the flowers downstairs, some of the fake flowers and stuff. I give him a suit jacket out of the shirt and tie, right? And he says, I'm going to go and see, can I get her back, right?
So you dressed Gareth up?
I dressed him up,
what?
Right? Bring him
in
down.
In your clothes?
Me and Nicola are really getting into this now as
well,
well, right?
It's just I don't
and
see.
we bring him down to Caltra Centra, right? And he goes up to Sue Ellen.
Yeah.
And he says, Susan,
can I see your TV license?
Me. And you know what she says?
What?
Can I see your TV?
It's just a habit. It's a habit.
He's like, you've been getting away with 15 years now paying the TV license.
Yeah.
Right? Venezuela, me arse.
You have 30 of them there up on the shelf.
You owe a fortune. How are we going to pay Ryan Tuberty this year at all, is what he said to her.
Yeah. What did he say to her?
That's what he said.
Is that what he said?
I didn't have a clue what I was going with that. That was a way better ending. So my point being, are we all going to not pay? This is what the whole point is.
That was your whole point was?
The whole point, are we not going to pay the TV license?
No, we are. Because we still want Fair City. We still want the Late Late. We still want all those things. And in fairness, it's just another tax.
Yeah.
Because I'll give you an example. When you're paying road tax.
Yeah.
Right? And you're kind of going, that's for the roads now.
Yeah.
It's not.
What's it for?
Road tax literally goes into this. It's just another tax. They're all just taxes.
But you're making my point then. They should all just be taxes. We should pay our TV license.
This is a telly tax.
It's not. No, but it goes straight to RTE. It doesn't go back into public expenditure.
Yeah, okay.
Every other tax we pay just pays for the country.
That's true, okay.
The TV license just pays Ryan Tuberty. Think about that.
Yeah.
All of the money for our TV license of programming that I don't watch goes straight to Ryan Tuberty.
But if you want to live here in Ireland, you have to sign up to paying for Ryan Tuberty.
I'm not paying for Ryan Tuberty anymore,
well,
thank
then
God.
Move.
So
leave the country, go to England.
No, as in now we've had enough of it. There is obviously going to be some kind of inquiry.
What'll happen now is that the money will now be it'll be a screen tax or something, or a media tax, and that media tax will probably go into the Exchequer, and a portion will be given to RTE from the Exchequer of their funding.
I do think that public funding for national broadcast is very, very important, by the way.
But it should be divvied out to national broadcasters, perhaps.
I think some of it should go to TG Koch. Right?
Yeah.
I think we should take them on board and say, fuck Virgin Media, because that's owned by your man, Richard Cranston. Brian Cranston from the Breaking Bad. He owns Virgin Media.
Yeah.
He has loads of money. Don't worry about that. If they want to keep going, they can keep going there. But, there's some other little entities in Ireland that are flying now. So give it, you know what I mean? Or fix the RTE player. At least make it watchable.
Mark,
that's the worst thing.
I think we spent close to an hour.
That must be 3 hours deep now, are we?
Have you any other bits, or can I get into the bits?
Oh, get into the bits. I completely forgot that we were supposed to talk about it.
We are. One of the pressing things is we did a preferred Mickey size survey last week. That
was mostly fellas that reacted to it, by the way.
Yeah, mostly fellas. But
I'll take a suck at this now because I feel I'm fucking hot and bothered.
It was a great story. I really enjoyed it, and big shout out to Garrett and Susan Swellen. I hope you get things back on track. Just especially for Gary Jr. and Richie.
Oh, they'd be delighted to them see their mammy again.
Preferred Mickey size. 33% said big.
Yeah, they want the big one. That was fellas that
was big. So a third of our respondents says want the big fella.
They want the big fella.
Yeah. 4% said a nice small one would do me just lovely.
Just a good fast
And I think those 4% are the ones with the small one. And that's the reason they said small, to try and reaffirm themselves.
Or else it is it's couples out there who saw that Instagram poll together, and she had the phone in her hand. And she said, well, I better say I prefer a small one because this fella's...
yeah, but the medium was there.
There's a medium,
2/3 of people are happy enough with a medium.
Which is funny because the medium is 2/3 of the full length. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with a good medium one, Ray. Do you know, like...
Can I go through some of the people who actually voted?
Don't say their names.
Yeah. So Evan...
I just said don't say...
He voted big.
Okay.
Hannah voted big.
We don't know who this Hannah person is, obviously.
Yeah, no, well, I'm not going any further.
No.
You know who you are. Tony Travers voted big.
Okay, that's good. At least
Emma Chambers, she's a fan of the big.
So Ray's trying to make sure that no one ever votes on anything we ever do again by calling out actual people.
Yeah. Well, all of these people now, they're probably looking for the shout out, you know?
Oh, they're looking for a shout out. I love a good medium, a nice round one.
Yeah.
I love a kind of a hairy one. Jesus.
I think there's probably enough of me doing that, isn't it?
Yeah, no, but here's the thing. It just shows you, Ray. Number one, Mickey's come in all shapes and sizes, and that's very important to note, Ray.
Yeah.
They come in all different colours and shapes and sizes, and some of them are healthy and some of them aren't. Some of them are riddled. But everyone has their own little preference.
Yeah.
Do you know?
In fairness, they do now, yeah. Oh, that was funny now. The Garrett thing was funny. Right, I'll get into it.
Go on.
So we did the Mickey votes. Great. I had a very awkward encounter with a government minister. Yeah.
You know, we put up a TikTok last week about Eamon's Ryan.
Yes.
Cycle a bike Eamon, they call him.
Cycle a bike.
Cycle a bike, they call him.
That's what they call him. That's supposed to be a Ballina thing.
Yeah.
If Eamon Ryan comes back, well, cycle a bike.
Look, cycle a bike himself over there. So, cycle a bike Ryan.
Yeah,
okay.
what about that?
So, and we put up a TikTok and you were like, I don't want to put this up because I can't talk about it.
I was worried about that one.
Now you're going to tell me about a secret meeting you had with the
No, it
government
wasn't
minister.
a secret meeting. I met him at a launch of a plan.
Okay, good.
Right? And it was grand. I was at the plan, and the plan was launched, everything was fine, then there was teas and coffees and scones.
Right.
But there were the little mini scones.
Oh,
Have you ever seen the mini scones?
I love a mini scone.
So I looked at them and went, well, definitely I need two of those. Right?
You're sussing it.
Yeah, I was up in Dublin, fancy hotel, I need two of those, right?
Yeah.
So I got two mini scones, a cup of tea and a saucer, and I got a little thing of jam, the little pot of jam, and I had a bit of dairy gold butter.
I'm getting more just talking.
And I come down, there had no tables in the room. That's the one thing, the oversight. They give out all these scones and nowhere to fucking butter.
Well, there's no money left. Don't make me say it again.
So I whipped the laptop, the government issued laptop out to create a little tray on my lap.
Oh, that's good. There's about 1,200 quid well spent. Ray's using it to fucking butter a scone. I mean, we're paid. What are we paid civil servants for? Why are we doing this?
To be this enterprising. So
unbelievable.
I was sitting there anyway, right? I was flat out. I cut my two scones in half and I had the two of them buttered and they were still kind of warm.
Oh.
So the butter was just seeping into them lovely.
Oh,
the tea was just percolating, everything was going well. I was about to attempt to put some jam on them.
Right.
And next thing, my boss landed over with a minister. Right?
So this is Minister Howitt.
Exactly. Minister Howitt, he just wants to ask you a question.
Yeah.
And the question was about something I do in work.
Okay.
But I was sitting there, and you know when you have a laptop on your thing and you're trying to keep it straight, and you're up on your tippy toes to try and keep it up, and I had the knife in one hand, right, and I had the jam in the other.
And the HP underneath,
And hold on. I sat there for the 10 minutes with the knife in hand and with the jam in hand, right? And he asked me all the questions he wanted to ask me about the bits and bobs, right?
And you didn't move an inch.
And I didn't move an inch. I was feeling cramps in my calves, in my legs, in my knees, because I was trying to keep the thing right, because otherwise if I dropped the legs at all, the tea would spill.
That's the end of it.
And that's the end of the laptop and then my everything. But I just found it very strange to be sitting there with the knife in hand talking to a government minister about things.
Yeah, so first of all, I want to find out what you did talk about. You better spill the beans if you didn't spill the tea. The thing is, the best thing about picking up a knife like that is you can put it back down again.
I could have put it back down, but I was just nervous.
What is wrong with you?
I don't know.
Why didn't you go, just give me a second there, Minister?
I should have been more assertive and kind of gone, hold on, Minister, now you've clearly caught me in the middle of having a scone.
You should have called him out.
Could you just wait?
The worst thing about you're not assertive enough.
No.
You should have said to him, I'm busy. Why would you not say? So she comes over and says, Ray, I want to introduce you to Minister Howitt.
Mr. Howitt.
He's the minister for everything no one cares about.
Yeah.
And you should have said, I'm actually busy at the moment, Minister.
Yeah.
Can you just back off like 5 meters and let me eat the scone? Like.
Why don't you go get a scone as well?
I'm actually on a government break at the moment.
Yeah, I didn't do any of that.
Yeah.
I sat there and the tea went cold. The butter melted into infinity.
Unbelievable.
And I ended up having to go get a whole new set of stuff.
It just shows you the ministers are just sucking the life out of us anywhere we go. Anywhere we go, you can't even enjoy a scone.
I wish I was in a better position. I was very vulnerable at that point.
You will say anything to anyone ever, is what I've learnt about you.
Yeah.
But you get nervous around like government officials.
How will you'd have to be?
As in like you get starstruck by government officials.
Well, he'd be a very effective minister. And I was kind of going, geez, this man's going to see right through all my bluffing.
I have never heard of such a thing.
Ah, right.
A very effective minister, me arse.
Yeah. I'll move on.
Go on.
We did the marriage course.
Oh, did you get the video?
No, there was no video.
You didn't get the video?
I'll tell you why. You did it on Zoom, didn't you?
We did it online.
Yes,
it was
we
great.
didn't do it online. We had to attend the Glass House.
Oh, brilliant.
Right? So it was a 2-day thing.
Yeah.
We did 2 hours on the Friday evening, right? And then we did fucking 5 hours on the Saturday afternoon.
We did about 2 hours, that was it. It was class.
I don't understand why the online version
and
is so much shorter.
Remember, you know around about Fair City? They showed us a video that was on the same level as Fair City.
So if you do the in-person marriage course, right, with a cord, they don't need the video because they get people to act out the scenario. Now,
were you up? As in people in the crowd, like?
People, there were 16 couples at this thing.
I would love that.
And at the start...
I would have came into my own. I would have been like, can I be the fella?
I'm going to give you now that opportunity, right?
Oh my God.
Because at the start when we had to break the ice and tell everybody we had to pair up with a couple, right? Another couple. And each couple had to find out about each other and then feed back to the group.
Okay.
So we had to tell everybody about Charlie and Shannon.
Oh!
And Charlie and Shannon had to tell everything about us.
That's great.
And what they said about us was that Ray met Laura when she was a nun. Because she was dressed as a nun at the time.
Okay.
But he picked it up as that she was a nun.
She was a nun. He rescued her from the convent.
I rescued her from the convent. And also Laura...
Like Rapunzel. She came down from the top window of the convent.
And Laura does theatre stuff, right? So immediately when they heard Laura does theatre stuff, going, that's the couple we're going to get for acting.
Oh, great.
So I was raging.
Yeah. If I was going to bring stuff back, let's say I meet Shannon and Charlie.
Fair play to Shannon and Charlie.
They would have said, so Rick, Mark, can you tell us about Shannon and Charlie? And I would have said, so Shannon and Charlie, they are from just outside Donegal.
Yeah.
It's not going to last. I don't see any love in their eyes at all.
Wow.
I would have fucking thrown it out there.
You would have gone for it.
Yeah, let's just throw it out there.
Yeah.
Actually, if I'm being honest, I think I seen Shannon shifting someone in the Garvogue last night.
Okay.
Someone else, Charlie, if I'm being fully. So I would have, you know what I mean? Now, the acting part.
The acting part. So we were given a script.
Oh, wow.
Right? The script was, and I have to give you some pointers here now. So you're going to be Laura's part.
Okay.
And I'm just going to play me.
Yeah,
right?
okay.
So I think it was, I don't know who there was. It was Joan was the lady. You're Joan. Right?
Okay.
And I'm
Joan.
Mike.
Okay. I'm Joan.
I'm Mike and you're Joan.
Okay.
Right. And we're now married. Right?
I'm a method actor.
Okay. Right. So I'm going to give you some pointers for starters. Right. The whole thing takes off. Joan is there in the house all day. Mike comes home after a long day at the office.
Yeah.
Right. And the dishes hasn't been washed.
Right. Okay, sorry. Okay.
But it's Mike that hasn't washed the dishes and Joan's ticked that he hasn't pulled his weight.
Sorry, who came home?
Mike comes home from work.
And she didn't wash the dishes then.
No. The dishes Mike had left the dishes there, hadn't washed them.
Oh, she said, I'm not doing that.
Okay, I know you're
sorry, I'm getting bad into it. Okay, come on.
But then on top of that then as well, it then descends into kind of a picking at each other. And there's a little bit of angst there from Joan about the fact that Mike might have invited the whole parish to the wedding and she got to invite feck all. And his uncle, Joe, was an awful mess.
Okay.
At the wedding. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here we go. Scene.
Your Uncle Joe shit this week. Sorry. Okay.
Your Uncle Joe sitting this week. So you come home and the first thing I was like, hi, Joan. How's it going? I'm home.
You're home, yeah.
Yeah.
Walk into the kitchen and show me what you see in there now. Just
okay.
walk into the kitchen and show me what's different about last night.
Okay.
I'll tell you. Fuck all.
Right.
You left it dirty. You went down to town and got Roberto's.
Now, come on now.
And you left curry.
It's not
stuck to the place.
It's not the end of the world, Joan. Now, in fairness,
it's not the end of the world, is it not?
Yeah. I mean, I'm after a long day. I have to go and look at all these documents from work, and I haven't time. I'll get them later. It's not the end of the world.
Doc, you can't read, you prick. I'm slaving away here all shagging day.
Are you either?
Am I either?
Yeah.
I should have never married you. I should have married your brother.
What?
What's
your brother? Stephen got to do with
I
this?
rode your brother inside Garvogue. Toilets.
Jesus Christ.
I just got straight to 10. Don't know what happened. You left the curry dishes out, right?
And I rode your brother.
Oh, you think it's funny? I rode your brother. Rode him. And he leveled me inside the Garvogue toilets. Whoa! Oh, I was never... Whoa! I was lying on that TikTok. I don't like a small Mickey. I love a big rod. A big veiny rod.
Do you want to work the Uncle Joe thing?
I love a big, massive, throbbing, veiny, big, triumphant rod. And now your brother has an awful yoke. You didn't get the family genes. Whoa! You had an unmerciful yoke. I'm pregnant.
With whose baby?
Huh?
With whose baby?
There's only one rod to give you a baby like that. No, ask your uncle as well. I know we're going, we're jumping around the place. But you remember the wedding?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
I wasn't allowed to invite anyone. I had Maggie there.
Yeah.
And I had Sue Ellen there as well. Do you remember your one that works down in Central?
Sue Ellen Moffat.
I don't know what her story is, but I can't suss her background at all. Don't know where she came from. I can only bring a couple of the girls. You had 36 best men, and you invited half the family. And your mother, the bitch, your mother invited every neighbour. The far side of the Shannon, she invited everyone of them, and your Uncle Joe shite in the sweet carts. Right? And someone went in to get a cola bottle out of it, a big handful of shite.
And then at the end, then you're supposed to say something along the lines, I wish I'd never married you.
I wish I'd never married you
Perfect.
at all. Honest to God.
Why don't you go off with me brother Stephen?
Yeah, I want a divorce, right? I'm going to go off with Stephen and his big, veiny, big old rat. Wying it off in York. Mother of God, I never seen that like it. He lifted me up. He lifted me up above the sink. Oh, Jesus, he cleaned me out of it all together.
Our sink with the dishes in it.
Bad, he died, but there was no dishes in it.
Was that why your
brother's coming over now?
Is that why you're annoyed the dishes in it
Not
now?
that. Your brother's coming over. He driving a BMW. You're only driving a shitty old Corsa. Your brother drives a lovely BMW. Oh, jeez. I think it's a 2-litre. So
I'm in a heap.
And the thing about that is,
I've more tears and schnot.
That is the kind of stuff that couples have to deal with every day. And we have to realise that. These are just everyday scenarios that happen across the country. And if people think the marriage course is stupid, right? But you have to know how to deal with it if your missus was with your brother, and he didn't do the dish. All hell break loose.
That was kind of that was very good. Now, and obviously, me and Laura, she was marvelous. I wasn't great. I just read it up.
Did you have to do that?
I had to. I didn't do it the way you did.
Did she go first?
She went. She didn't go for it fully. I think she was holding back, knowing full well that she would have done a whole Daniel Day Kendy on it.
Yeah,
and she would have probably hit me.
She would have kicked my left foot up your hole. Yeah.
And
the ladies, cracked up beyond that, Ray,
I'm actually going to get a pain here now, and if I get a pain, we'll have to stop. The ladies who were doing it, were very Catholic.
Yeah, So it's Accord. Accord. Sorry. So the Accord. If you want to get married in the Catholic Church, you have to do a marriage course. Yeah. Where in truth, now let's be honest, they do set you up. They ask you questions like, if you have a child that maybe is born with special needs, right, like that, like what you have to learn to deal with that kind of stuff. It's very good with that. When they bring out the Fair City stuff about the fact your husband shite, that's bullshit. Okay, but it is good.
One of the things I found is they kept referring to marriage as long service medals. Prison sentences. They kind of said, like, I won't call their names.
A good stretch.
We'll call them Bridget and Mary.
Okay.
So Bridget would be kind of going, now I'm with my Jimmy this last 41 years. Yeah. You wouldn't do that for murder.
Yeah, and then everyone goes, this woman's a hoose. Yeah. This woman's great.
Yeah, and then there was a lot of, because Bridget and Mary were doing it together, Bridget would be telling you a story about, how her and her Jimmy, that this had happened and that had happened. Wouldn't it, Mary? And Mary would kick in and go, it would. And it happens with my Francis as well.
Does it happen with him as well?
It does, Bridget.
Doesn't it just show you, Mary?
Exactly.
It can happen anyone. Yeah. He fell into a I tell you, I had to drag him out of it. All this kind of shit, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, and also, that was another thing. Someone said, said something about when is it's good time or something to mind your relationship with the most. And a fella actually said, and I had to coin your phrase, festival time.
Oh, yeah. So
he just came out when she's on her period. And everybody looked at her, men and women alike, and went, Jesus, you are a brave man. Oh, man. And the wife-to-be said, oh my God, you didn't just say that. And the last item on that was, there was a HDMI cable, which is a TV cable, big long one, about 10 metres.
Really important in marriage. Yeah. Make sure your HDMIs are
HDMI cable was unwound on the floor underneath the flip board.
Oh, you must have got sick.
It was probably one of the toughest 5 hours I ever had. I was looking at this mess of a cable going, could they not have tidied that up before they did the course?
That could have been you could have came home from work in your scenario and said, you never tidied up any of the leads at all. But then she'd say, I rode your sister. Go on, okay.
I did Night and Day Festival.
Oh, yeah, where was it this year?
Night and Day Festival. Was it in Castlereagh last year?
It was in Castlereagh last year, and they said this was so good in Castlereagh, we can't do it again.
So we'll move it.
They moved it to where?
To the Lockheed Forest Park, just outside Boyle.
Okay, so that is, first of all, I don't know who organises Night and Day, right?
Yeah, me neither.
Castlereagh has Harmac, Hester's, and Benny's.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's
okay?
it.
They got a festival. It was right across the road from my parents' house.
Yeah.
In Clonallis House, a wonderful site for a festival.
Yeah.
They did it there.
Did you go to it?
No, I
Why?
didn't go because I'm not allowed back to Castlereagh, Ray.
Right.
So, they did it there.
Yeah.
I don't know what the crowds were like. I'm sure it did all right for its first year. But
I heard it was marvellous.
bastards. I don't know who was it, the people who run Clonallis House or was it the people who run Night and Day who said there's something we separate here now again.
I don't know what happened.
There's nothing going on in Castlereagh. Like, why?
It's
like,
now in a beautiful spot.
oh, is it? I'm delighted.
Yeah.
I'm delighted now
And
that
I was I was doing the monitors on the main stage.
you were monitoring everything.
And I would like to big shout out to Audio Works, Shane Walken. For
Oh,
getting
was it
me
Shane
in.
Walken who did it?
Shane Walken was doing it. He runs a mighty show.
Oh, serious show,
I have
yeah.
to say, it was an education for me.
Right. He
Right.
does most of the mic stands in Mayo now.
He would
I know
be
Vinny has the mic
Mayo's-
stand.
He'd be Mayo's premium mic stand provider, but he would also have hired an awful lot of stuff from Sligo's premium mic stand provider, which is Vinny Higgins. Yeah.
See, they swap stands all the time. They're always looking out
Mark,
for each
you've
other.
known me a long time.
Yeah, too long.
Would you call me opinionated?
So, opinionated. I must just actually have a right think about that. I've never
Yeah.
really contemplated this before. Yeah, I guess you are the most opinionated man I've ever known.
So
yeah.
I have a good friend of mine, not like a good friend, as in I've known him a long time. Right? His name is John Henry.
Okay.
Lovely fella.
Yeah.
He's now living in Canada, but he
Okay.
did live in Ballina, and that's where I got to know him. John and he went to Canada and he started doing big gigs. Big fancy gigs with fancy wheelable stages and all sorts of fancy.
As a sound engineer.
As a sound engineer.
Yeah.
And he comes home now and helps Shane out do the gigs at home. So, but he brings the big fancy Canadian experience home with him. And I'm flat out doing the local west of the Shannon stuff.
Yeah.
There was a clash.
You're doing Anderson's Tremendous Event
I was
Centre.
doing a Anderson's Tremendous Event Centre where there are no wheelie stages.
No, it's just a stage in
It's
the
just
venue.
a stage. So everything just stays where it is and everything's just wired and it's done.
So where was the clash?
The clash was John wanted to run the gig like the fancy gigs in Canada, which I have to say there was a lot of merit to because it ended up needing to be run like that.
Yeah.
And I was stuck in the olden ways of if I put that microphone there, it's staying there for the whole show. And the hothouse flowers are just going to have to get over it.
Yeah, Lee Mon Wayne Lee may scream into that now because that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I feel bad for John Henry. No, I do. I feel really bad for him because he doesn't know what you're like, obviously. He doesn't know.
He does. No, he knew before. And
He was warned, was he?
Yeah, he knew before, yeah. But I have to say it was an education. I learned new ways of doing things, which is marvellous.
Did you listen to him?
I had to, in the end.
And learn from him.
I did, yeah. I learned it from him. Yeah, I have to say now I have a different way of looking at doing gigs.
That's amazing.
I know, but that's the important thing to remember about me is I might be stubborn at times, but I will, if someone tells me something and I go, no, he's right.
Can I have his number?
He can, I'll give it to you after the show.
I want to he could do a level 8, man. I'd pay.
Also, Wallace Bird played at it.
Oh,
and
brilliant.
I have been a fan of Wallace Bird for a long
Wallace
time.
Sunbird.
Wallace and Sunbird, so she is. And I have never actually met or spoke to her. I've only ever been at the gigs.
Yeah.
But there she was, and I was going to be doing her monitors, and I was very nervous. Because of the fact that I was like, you're marvellous.
Yeah.
And she got up, and she was possibly the nicest human being you could possibly meet in the music business.
Go away.
Yeah, she's lovely.
Jeez,
and
you haven't
she
said
put
that
on
lately.
an unbelievable show as well. She turned a drum riser into a kick drum.
How
They
is she
literally stuck a mic under it, and she stamped.
Jeez, you can knock and sound out of it nowadays.
She can, yeah, she's unbelievable.
Can I ask you about Wallace Bird
Yeah.
and the experience of, she was happy with her monitors, was she?
Thankfully, yes.
So she was delighted with that.
She was,
No.
which was a big moment for me because that was where me and John had clashed the most. Just before it,
Yeah.
John said the whole stage needs to be clear, and I was like, "What are you talking about? This is a festival. You have to leave everything where it is." And he was
Forever.
going, "The whole thing has to go," and I'm going, "No way! I'm going to be pure stubborn here and thick."
I want to talk to you about festivals.
Yeah.
And about gigs, outdoor gigs, and why the whole world is just doing them now.
Yeah.
Because I think they're affecting local pub trade.
Oh.
Ireland in the last month has had approximately 6,000 either festivals or
About that, yeah.
outdoor gigs.
Yeah.
Every time I look on Instagram, there's people doing a night and day.
Yeah.
They're doing
There's a
a
festival
wild
in every
They're
town.
doing a Wild Roots.
Yeah.
They're doing a Bundoran.
The Grange Festival on this
There's a
Saturday.
Grange Festival on this Saturday with a Savage Band.
I
Tanya
have a
Callahan
ticket to
and
go and see
boys.
it.
Yew!
And some say Buzzy will also get up for a song.
Buzzy might get up and do something you wouldn't do. So, I'm just wondering. Now, the thing is, did you see Glastonbury actually?
I didn't see any of it because I was down night and day.
Unbelievable Glastonbury. Let me tell you the best thing about Glastonbury.
Did the Guns N' Roses not go down well?
Apparently, Guns N' Roses, he must have been using a bad 58. You couldn't hear Axel singing at all.
That might have been by design.
Yes, it was by design. So all of you gullible bastards out there who think I couldn't hear Axel, that is because you don't want to hear him. Yeah. He doesn't want you to hear him. And in fairness,
they're the only band that people talked about, apart from Elton John, who apparently got home 40 minutes after the gig.
Yeah, Elton John. This is what Elton John did. He finished the gig.
Yeah.
He went, fuck off. Right?
Got in the helicopter.
No, he got into a buggy, a golf buggy.
Yeah.
Then into a car. Yeah. And then into a helicopter. And he was sitting at home in the bath with a cup of tea 38 minutes later.
Unreal.
38
and that's like
minutes later.
That's a wedding band post there now.
When
Castle Dargan night, home in 12 minutes.
Oh, you'd have it up straight away. Going, tough run tonight now I had. Yeah. That's what Elton John was doing. So, it's amazing. But the best thing about Glastonbury was, I think it was during Sammy Fender's set, or someone, or one of them boys, or Lewis Kendy, the poor Divilene.
Poor Divilene, he struggled.
He's struggling, man, with the Tourette's and bad chest and everything, man. The chest cut off him. There's only so many times I can see him doing a gig where people go, look how amazing it is that the crowd helped him. That's going to get tiresome for crowds eventually, the poor Divil. What I'm saying is I can't see Lewis Capaldi gigging for too much longer.
I did enjoy what he did with it. And ladies and gentlemen, Ed Sheeran, there was a big crowd.
He's not here.
He's not here.
Yeah. So somebody, you know all the Glastonbury flags?
Yes.
The Glastonbury flags were up.
Yeah.
And everyone had their pride flags and their Bicky Boo flags and everything, right?
Mickey Boo, go on Mickey Boo.
One of them up the real front was a Roscommon flag flying high and proud.
Was it Roscommon or just a collection of the colours that you would associate with Roscommon?
No, there was no Ukrainian flag, there was no Tipperary flag, there was no Clare flag.
Did it say Roscommon GA?
There was a Roscommon GA crest on the flag.
Okay.
Flying high above everyone. Everyone said, who in the name of Jesus was that?
Yeah.
I saw a Roscommon Herald article. It was a young girl called Sarah Moorhan from Balnagar who went to school in Castlereagh, a couple of years younger than me, who was flying that flag. And I just thought, fair play to her.
Yeah.
It's something I wouldn't probably do because I'd be too...
Will you be afraid to be blocking people's view?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's 600 foot in the air. Yeah, you're right.
Will you be holding the flag for the whole day? It's shite.
That is shite.
It's shite, like.
Did you ever see, like... I saw a fella, and he had another fella who was twice his size on his shoulders. And I just thought, what a shite festival experience for that fella.
Behind the flag.
To have this big fat fella on his shoulders, like one of his own friends, weighing him down, sinking into the Glastonbury earth, going, this is shite, I shouldn't have came to this.
Yeah.
So, that fair play to Sarah, I think it was Sarah Moorhan it was, who, if I remember correctly, that was who was on it. Yeah. Any other crack, Ray?
I have the last of the crack now, folks. That is episode 208 coming to a close. We have some announcements.
We do.
There's a few, and I know that we're coming to the big announcement, but first of all, did I get everything? I did. I did. Oh, we didn't talk about Brendan's bits.
Go on. These always work.
Hit it there, Luke.
Brendan's bits.
The Bros of Tralee.
So it is.
The Bros of Tralee.
Yes.
Macron Affirma.
No, apparently they have decided to do a man version of the Rose of Tralee in Mullingar.
There's already one.
And
it's the Macron Affirma. It's the Farm Personality of the Year.
I don't know, but they missed the trick by not calling it the Bros of
the
Mullingar.
Bros of Tralee. Yeah.
The Bros. It should be Bros of Mullingar.
The Bros of Mullingar. Okay. Yeah. It's going to be in County
I
Arms.
think it's called something else, but they're doing a thing now for men.
Right. Okay.
And that doesn't sound great.
Why?
Don't know.
But why not?
Why would we all go out of a night to see interesting fellas up on the stage talk about
the first thing is, if it's anything to do with Irish fellas, none of them are going to be interesting.
No.
That's the one worry. And actually in the Rose of Tralee,
not that we're not interested, it's just that we can't communicate.
Yeah, and also the best part of the Rose of Tralee is that the women aren't interested either, usually. No, I mean it is, like, let's be honest here.
That is a sweeping statement.
No, the best part of the Rose of Tralee.
My name is Raymond McAndrew.
Listen, don't distance yourselves from nothing, Ray. Let's be realistic here. The best part of the Rose of Tralee is when Dahi goes, and tell me this now, you're big into the GAA in Sydney now. There's a club down there, isn't there? And she goes, yeah, I'm playing with the Sydney Swans, and we train once a week, and the girls are great.
Yeah.
And now what are you going to do for us now? I'm going to read a poem. Like, and you go, what? Like, how is that interesting? Like, it's either GAA or the lads back home is great crack, and we had great crack with everybody, and isn't it wonderful? And nothing happens.
I have a point.
If you do that with the fellas, and what do you do now? I have 30 sucklers, and
but that could be interesting.
Love it. I just love the farming, you see.
Yeah.
I love it now.
I take Claire Byrne will present it.
Sometimes I read to the cows at night. I love it now. Claire Byrne presents it now.
I think should be very good.
I think Ryan Tuberty should do the
Subsidy.
Ryan Subsidy should do the Road Tree.
Kendy, I thought, earlier in our Garrett and Susan Suella story, I was thinking about the two Johnnies. And the two Johnnies putting out these fantastic
They
episodes.
did a festival as well, by the way.
They did a marvellous one.
Pints in the Park.
Yeah.
They had Porky Croaky or whatever. Porky Cleave.
Parky Croaky.
They had Porky Kendy. Sold out.
Sold out, marvellous.
Unbelievable.
But I have to admit, you know the way they do these fancy episodes with sextortion and catfish and all that?
Yeah, great.
It's funny that our episode is essentially based on a fictional story about,
nothing else interesting happens to us. That's where the two Johnnies have it off to a T, you know.
They're doing real things.
They're not afraid to jump the gun. Like, Brendan can't get us anyone interested. Brendan, I want 4 OnlyFans models in the room.
No, but I think we
week.
have a guest lined up for said live show on July 20th.
Listen, I think we're at breaking point right now. What? Unless you tell me an unreal guest right now, I'm done with the podcast.
Okay, so the guest we've got, drum roll please. Alan Clark from the Big News Podcast, coming soon.
You saved us.
Thank
What?
you.
Let's do 100,000 more episodes. Alan Clark.
I can't decide whether I want to interview him or him to interview us.
Well, we could do both if you want to. But,
and let the crowd decide which one is better.
Alan Clark is going to be there, ladies and gentlemen, on the 20th of July in Anderson's Tremendous Event Centre
at 8 o'clock
for the next Kendy and Raybo live show.
Deluxe Extravaganza. We're getting more money tour.
By the time this episode is up, I presume the tickets will be available online.
2 fivers.
2 fivers
That's what we
per
need.
ticket.
However, if you are up to our Patreon, then you don't have to pay the 2 fivers.
No, if you're on Patreon, you get
can merely
free.
walk into Anderson's Dimension, like you own the place. Like you and Brian O'Sullivan and Larry are 3 partners in crime, and you own that building.
If you're on Patreon and you're getting in for free on the 20th, you have to walk in the door and you'll be greeted by a woman with menus, probably just flick the menus out of her hand and say, I'm here to shit up.
Don't forget to spit in her face as well.
Just go, could you, and then slap them on the ground and say, clean that up.
Clean that up.
I run this place. I'm on Kendy and Raybo's Patreon.
And then you got to show Brendan the Patreon.
And then show him the Patreon, because otherwise it doesn't work.
Yeah, so otherwise we'll be charging you for spitting in her face.
Whoever's at the door checking the tickets, you just say, I'm a Patreon member, this is me. Open up your Patreon app and say, this is me. You will get into the gig for free.
It saves you 2 fivers. Unbelievable.
Saves you 2 fivers to go to all the Kendy Raybo shows for free.
I have some shout outs.
Go on.
Well, lads, any chance you could get a shout out from my wife, Cora?
Yeah,
it took me a second there. I thought it was Cara. No, it's Cora. She's turning 28 on the 24th of June.
Lovely. Happy birthday, Cora.
That's happened, and it will mean the world to her if we could give her the shout out.
Cora, lovely.
He said he will send a €50 note to the PayPal.
Brilliant idea. That's the best idea I've ever heard.
Thank you, Christopher, for that, and fair play to you, Cora.
Cora, happy birthday, love. You don't look a day over 27, love.
No, not a bit. And then we have no recollection of this building. But, okay, so there's a lady here. Her name is Gillian Buckley.
Okay.
She got a shout out that I have no recollection of doing.
But sure, we shout people out, you know what I mean?
So Gillian got the shout out. It was in episode 200, and he said, she said that Bat Delan has confirmed that he sent in the request.
I know Bat Delan.
Do you know Bat Delan?
I do, yeah.
Where did he get a name like that?
I mean, whether it's real or not, it's the best thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, so Bat Delan anyway told us to shout out Gillian Buckley, and then Gillian in return, and this is what we're getting into a very vicious circle here.
Yeah,
she said, "Oh, will you give Bat a shout out?"
Give Bat Delan no shout out.
He's from Mount Collins and has a gorgeous baby boy, Connell, with his girlfriend Sarah.
Lovely. That's great.
Fair play to you, Bat. And lastly, Lily Goosehop, Caroline.
Yeah.
Right? She's going in for an old dose of an operation.
The most famous of all listeners at this stage.
She is the most famous. She sent us the Mickeys.
She sent us everything.
Yeah. She wants to shout out because she went into surgery, and that might just pick her up out of her self-pity that she will be experiencing on Thursday afternoon.
Caroline Lovey, it's going to be a simple operation, and think about it this way. Just imagine me and Ray are doing it. I'm handing Ray the scalpel right now, whatever it is you're getting done. And he's kind of scratching his head going, is it this? Which one do I cut?
The red wire or the blue wire?
That should put you at ease there now, Caroline Lovey.
Ray, step away from the ventilator, will you?
Ray, you're at the wrong end of her thought. You're at the wrong end. Caroline Lovey, get well soon. Let us know how the procedure goes. So don't forget, 20th of July, 8 o'clock, Alan Clark is our special guest.
I'll be honest with you, he's worth coming for on his own.
Oh my God. Like if he did a live show.
He's talking about doing his own live show.
Yeah, which would get more people.
Run for him.
Isn't that mad that he'd get more people than when he's going to be on our one, at his own one? You know what I mean?
That's going to happen.
So fair play to Alan. So if you enjoy Alan Clark, look him up if you don't know him.
He's look up his podcast. They're brilliant.
Oh, he's unreal. Yeah. But listen to us as well also. Don't give him everything. Please don't forget about us. Fair play to Brendan flicking the keys clean off himself. He's going to have the Wilson Pickets up for you very soon, lads. So keep an eye out. And Ray, fair play to me.
And fair play to me.
Good luck.
Good luck. Kendy and Raybo podcast, sponsored by Anderson's Tremendous Event Centre and Wonderful Food Items, and the Blind Tiger's marvellous alcoholic fruit drinks.